Hey everyone, welcome back to Carrots and Olives. My name is Brittany, and today it is Holy Grail Day. We are going to open up this box. I am very excited. Now, I may have mentioned this once or twice on my YouTube channel, but I would classify this as a Holy Grail fountain pen. I would never have been able to afford it if it wasn't on a huge sale at endlesspens.com. And yeah, it's gorgeous. I'm so happy. I just happened to be scrolling through the website. They had some special edition discounted, heavily discounted. I've told you time and time again, if you've watched my videos, that Endless Pens has some great deals. So let's open. Yes, it is a sailor, but it's not just any sailor. Ooh, this box is slightly different. You get a little pull tab, and it's magnetic. And there we have it. Let's move my coffee. This is Pro Gear King of Pens Winter Sky Special Edition. King of Pen. So it's still in here. I have to cut this, and Sailor does come with some cartridges, and it should already have the converter inside. I ended up getting the medium. I was surprised that they offered medium. Usually it's medium fine, but this is King of Pens, so they had your typical range available. And so rather than a medium fine, I picked a medium. They also had the broad and a fine. I think the fine was actually sold out, but I don't know if you could see this, but I don't have any other Winter Sky fountain pen from Sailor. And I didn't realize that there's this subtle sparkle. And I'm also realizing that it's two different shades of purple. This is like this one looks more purple, and this looks like a gray purple. Ooh, look at that nib. That is humongous. Okay. So to put the size in perspective, we need the other sailors to do that. So let me grab some sailors so we can look at the sizes. So this is my sailor drawer, and I don't even think this is all my sailors. I just love to pull it out, the drawers themselves, to look at them. So maybe this is a little too much to see at once. Let me grab a little tray. We can zoom in just a tad bit more, and we could take it very slow. So we have Pro Gear Mini, and these are roughly the same size across the board. This was a special edition, and it has this beautiful design on the top. It's really pretty. And then we have a Sailor Lacolle. And these are all going to be in the Pro Gear, so meaning that they're the flat tops. And then we have a Pro Gear Slim. Pro Gear Slim. So the Sailor, the Coles are just slightly shorter than the Pro Gear Slims. And then we have a Pro Gear. Let me find one that's I don't have one in like the similar really faint colorway. But I have this one. So this is the Pro Gear. You could see it's slightly girthier. You could see that it's definitely taller. And it's just a little bit bare. So yes, there's the Sailor Pro Gear. And then we have a Sailor Realo Pro Gear. So also a flat top. This is the one that does not require a cartridge converter. It is a piston. And this one is all black with gold. So again, even taller. It has a more narrow at the edge here. And it's also a good size if you haven't seen these side by side. So yeah. And then last but not least is the Pro King of Pens, Pro Gear King of Pens. So definitely huge. So huge. And maybe, in comparison to the Pro Gear Mini, it's tiny. Now, let's see. Let's cap them. Oh my gosh, this thing is huge. Look at that. That's insane. It looks comical. And then also the nib. Look how huge this nib is in comparison to this one. Like, it's huge. I feel like the camera isn't giving it justice to how big it looks. It just looks so much bigger. Like, I feel like there should be something in between the Pro Gear and the King of Pens. Is there something in between? Because this nib is huge. The pen is huge. Anyway, I'm going to write with it and see. But it almost reminds me of a Meisterstroke pen. So anyway, let's also do some comparisons with some other pens that are, if you don't have a Sailor, maybe this will be helpful for you. So I'm bringing out my game leather zip box. And let's take a look. This one's pretty full. We talked about this. Nothing's really changed here. So I'm going to pull this out so that you could see the whole length of my pens. Okay, so we have a lot of Twispies here. Let's just use one. And let's take a look. So we have the Franklin Christoph here. You can zoom in a little bit more. Franklin Christoph, I think this is model 03. And next to that is the Sailor. Huge, huge. I mean, it's not as girthy, and it's not as tall as the Franklin, but you can see it's along that line. We have my Omas, Ojiva. We have the Leonardo. I'm drawing a blank. Leonardo. It was right on the tip of my tongue. Another Leonardo Grande. I think this is the Leonardo Grande 2.0, and this is just Leonardo Grande. So let's put them side by side. So it's up there. Then we have a Sailor Nagasawa. Super tiny in comparison. We have the Monte Grappa. Oh, this is like pretty close to Monte Grappa. Monte Grappa has those pointed ends. I feel like if it didn't have the pointy ends, they would be about the same height. Then we have the Platinum. So these are the same pen. And so it is taller than a Platinum 3776. And then TWSBI, it is taller than a TWSBI. So you can imagine how big it is when the Pro Gears are roughly, smaller than a TWSBI. This one is taller than a TWSBI. And then we have the other TWSBI, which is, they are almost the same height. So TWSBI 580. Let me go grab one more tray so we can compare another set of pens. I will be right back. Okay, I'm showing you all my goodies. So this is another tray I have of fountain pens, and some of the brands, if I can remember them off the top of my head. All right, so we have our Estrabooks, which I think it would be a really good comparison. So between these pens here, Estrabook Grande, or is that how they call them? The bigger size? Oversized. Estrabook Oversized. This is just a regular Estrabook. So to compare the size, of course, Estrabooks are not flat tops, so they would be slightly taller, but it's definitely not as girthier as a Sailor. So the Estrabook Oversize is a little bit thinner than the Sailor King of Pens. Okay, so we have a Leonardo Fiore. So definitely pointier. So it's a little bit taller, but not as girthy, I don't think. We have a Zodiac Pen Company pen, and it's also a flat top. Definitely not as girthy. We have a 3776 Century Platinum, and if I do it this way, it is bigger. And then we have the Visconti, and Visconti's bigger. It's taller. Metropolitan, Pilot Metropolitan here. Definitely smaller and very thin. Then we have a Mont Blanc, 146. Very thin, very thin. Thinner than a Metropolitan. I have a Montegrappa Elmo, just regular size. They're about the same size, but definitely not as girthy. The Montegrappa is thinner. Caweco Original, which is a taller Caweco. And definitely not any close. Not close at all. We have a Gioia. Is that how you pronounce it? Gioia pen. It is. Now Gioia is pretty girthy, and the Gioia is slightly taller. I feel like the girth is pretty close to each other. And then we have our E23s. I'm just missing the other E23, which I haven't bought yet, but it's the clear one that is now available in the US. E23s do have the round tops, so it is a pretty big pen. And the King of Pens is not as tall because I feel like if it did have a round top, it would be along the same size. And then we have a Platinum Celluloid, which is actually smaller than the Platinum 3776. These are the 3776 celluloid, so they are shorter. And then we have the Vanishing Point, which is a pretty tall pen too, because it has this long push piece here, and it is taller. The King of Pens is taller than the Vanishing Point. All right, so I feel as though I've covered a lot of pens, so you get an idea of how big and how thick the King of Pens pen is. And I wish I would have seen a video that would display that information with more than just 4 pens or more than just 3 different brands. So I think I've covered at least 6 brands: Mont Blanc, Esterbrook, Platinum, Montegrappa, Caweco, Goya, Pilot, Leonardo, Franklin Christoph. So almost 10. Vanishing Point, that's still under a Pilot. So 10 comparisons. Okay, let's just ink up this pen. I decided to go with Jacques Herba Violet Imperial. I always open these on the bottom because I don't want to break the seal for the most part. This has gold shimmer, and I am hopeful that this pen will be able to take it. Look at the purple and purple. Okay, let's see what's going on the inside. So that's intricate. There's a lot going on here. It's a very large holder. Well, let's get inking. Okay, I got something in there. It's a little squeaky. And let me clean the barrel. I'm going to take a wet wipe just to clean this on the edges better so it doesn't stain. This is a light color. Always be wary of those light color fountain pens when you ink them up with bottled ink. So I'm first going to write with one of my favorite papers. One of my favorites, not the favorite, but it's very close. And that is the Aerofol. Oh my goodness, look how wet that is. Look at how wet it writes. It's still like shiny. Very comfortable to hold, even though I try not to squeeze my pen. I still end up squeezing it, but this isn't uncomfortable because it's so girthy. This is a medium. The nib is very smooth. Still has a little bit of feedback so I can control my writing, but it's also very smooth as well. So I am very pleased with this. I know I was watching Simone's video with her experience with a King of Pen, and I believe she liked it as well. It just writes so good. Okay, so this is Aerofol paper. Let's write on Tomoe River paper. So this is Tomoe River, the new Sansen paper, but this is the 68 GSM. Now, I wouldn't say it's as comfortable with it posted. It's not even a strong post. oops, or secure. And if you have hands that are either my size or smaller, you'll be fine. And possibly if your hand is slightly bigger than mine, I also think you'll be fine. Now, if you have humongo hands, then you might need to figure out a way to post. But this ink is really pretty. It's like bluey purpley. So pretty. Okay, so let's also write in my Tomoe River 52 GSM, and we are going to catch up slightly in my A6 size. So let's zoom out. I don't think I've actually posted the video where I've talked about this and how I'm using this now, which has been working really well for me. And I'm behind a couple days, so I really need to take the time to catch up. But in short, this is what I do. Now that we're here, let's just get it right into it. So I start off by naming the day of the week this is. So it is Sunday. I do some kind of font, some kind of fun font here. Is it better if I zoom in? For Sunday. Okay, and then as I go through, actually probably should have started on Saturday because I can't really write about what I've done today because the day just started. So I could say that I woke up. Let's do, is it reverse writing? I mean, it works. It's not scratchy, but it doesn't seem like it's thick enough for me. I woke up and I started my YouTube video. So when I use this, I try to be as close to the timing of the side here. So everything that I list here is usually connected to the time that it happened on the left-hand side. And it's pretty much just going through my day. But that's what I do on the left side. And you see this little line here that divides the page from the left and right. And then on the right side, I do little journaling clips, or I even will draw. And in many cases, I try to draw something. So in this case, let's draw my sailor pen. So how do I draw this big nib? I think I'm gonna do a round tip, and then it goes down but swoops out. Kind of like that. Goes out a little bit more. A little bit more. Whoa, that wasn't supposed to happen. Oh well. So this is 21 karat, which is listed at the bottom. And it has a very simple sailor design. Oh, it has a breather hole. And let's do the sailor little thing. Little bob. Little bob of things. It looks something like that. And we have a kind of like a, it skirts out a little bit to me. Here, like there's like a lip here that keeps your fingers from falling off, kind of. And then we have, I don't have much room, so I can't do like the full body. But we have a little silver ring, and then we have the threads. And that should be enough. And then we have the body. And we'll just keep it like that. So let me draw the slit to the breather hole. And then we will draw, well, nope, we're not going to draw. We're just going to write right here. King of Pens, winter, sky. And I love this pen. Now I really liked the Riallo because it was also pretty girthy to me. Like it was just a comfortable hold. And so it's just, we have a little bit more detail on the nib than what I've shown or what I've drawn. Kind of like that. And so that's one of possibly maybe something else I might either write or draw. And I don't limit myself to just like drawings, and you know, I can put stickers here. I've done that before. I've even written, but for the most part I've been enjoying using this to like do a little bit of drawing because I don't draw nearly as much as I'd like in my Hobonichi A5, and that's just because I've grown to use it more for journaling. I don't have a personal journal that I am devoted to right now lately. Like I try to start one, but I just don't have the time. Like I have to stick with my hope. If I journal and put a lot of effort into my journaling or my time into my journaling, then something else is going to fail. And that would be my Hobonichi, which is about my family and like the day-to-day things that we do. So I want that to be my priority and something that to look back on, because I found that over the years we've enjoyed looking back on it together as a family, referencing it. So that's where my focus is, and therefore my personal journaling hasn't been a huge focus anymore over the past couple years. So yeah. Anyway, I am behind on Saturday and Friday. And oh gosh, yeah, those days too. But this is kind of what it looks like. So I do, for the most part, do little snippets of my day. Oops, I'm not even in frame. Yikes, why am I not in frame? Okay, so I kind of started around here. Let me know if you'd like to see this video where I talk about this. But I really like it. I'm behind. I'm so frustrated. I get behind on things. I'm even behind on my A5 just because I don't get much time to journal anymore. I feel like I have to steal time for myself to do this. But anyway, I am really happy about this pen. I am going to be using it a lot more today and in the coming days, and hopefully I can get you guys an update. If you're interested, let me know how many of you have a King of Pens Sailor. I would love to know that. Anyway, that's all I have to share with you today. If you want to see more of how I use this Hobonichi A6, or if you think I should do some Hobonichi A6 sessions, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. I will catch you in the next video. Bye. Oh, I forgot to do one more thing. We're going to call this my Holy Grail. Let's put that. Let's put that at the top. Let's color it in.